Welcome to my first episode of Airtime with Agnes Kru Yoga. And I'm so happy you're joining. Today's theme, New Year's resolution versus Sankalpa, which represents my work as a yoga teacher, versus subconscious programming, which represents the work of my dear guest today, Ainhoa Salgueiro from the Mind Tuner. So I'm your host, Agnes Kru from Agnes Kru Yoga, living in Mallorca as a yoga teacher. And you are here maybe as you wish for 2022 to make sure that your goals, your wishes, your desires will manifest. So on a personal level. Or maybe for a professional reason, if you work with people who struggle following their wishes and succeeding in their goals, like a yoga teacher often does so. We have to do with people who wish to start a healthy lifestyle, but then they struggle with it. So for whatever reason you're here, please stick around with us to the very end to make sure that 2022 will be a very exciting and a beautiful one. So please welcome now my dear guest, Ainhoa. Yay! Thank you
Hello.
so much for being here and for having accepted my invitation, Ainhoa. Before I start to bombard you actually with questions, um, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello. Well, thank you for having me here too, Agnes. And what can I tell you about myself? Well, I was born in Barcelona,
Mhm.
and I've been always a very curious and adventurous person, and that took me to study and discover many different things. Like I was always drawn by creativity and art, so that's where my journey started. But I was always very interested about humanity, human beings, society, culture. So I went to study sociology as well. And all my curiosity also took me to travel quite a bit and live in different places. Now I live in Mallorca as well, like you. And in the last around 6 years, I had this, what we call this kind of awakening. And my interest went a lot into consciousness and the science of the mind, like how we can evolve. And that was the beginning of Mind Tune. That's how I started my business, first with my healing journey, and then, yeah, translating it to help others, to guide them through this process.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, and before we go actually deeper into the theme and we'll start to discuss, I just would like to repeat that we all know how difficult it is to stick to what we actually wish for. So, one thing is actually we'll hope to make it a little bit more interactive here today, and that you will share also your wishes and goals during our session today, during our episode. But let's make a deal actually, and it would be really fantastico if you can share maybe after 6 months with Ainhoa or with me, with whoever you're in contact with, how you actually go on. So is that a deal, dear listeners? This is a question to you. So Ainhoa, how would you define a New Year's resolution?
Okay, well, I think the average New Year resolution it's just a list of wishes, like wishes of what we want to change or what we want to be. That's the
Mhm.
short answer. Like it's a list of wishes, and I think that's already the origin why they don't work, because wishes on its
Yeah,
own they don't have enough power to change something.
I would add to it, taken often not sober with a lot of champagne next to it, which makes it even more difficult, no?
Well,
So,
definitely, yeah, definitely.
So what do you think
wish.
of them? You started already, no? Either professionally, like there are a lot of New Year's resolution, like I would like to actually change my career, or personal, I would love to lose weight. What do you think of them?
Well, I think the intention behind it, it's a great thing. That means that's the first awareness that people wants to change something, and I think this is very positive. But of course, most people lack the information of how to really achieve it, and that's the only problem. So, but the intention behind it, it's great. Like it means we want to be better. Like
Want to
somehow.
evolve, no? So
Yes.
apparently, according to statistics, New Year's resolution by the end of the year have failed by 92%. So if you have a New Year's resolution, just 8 will succeed. If you don't have a New Year's resolution, 96% fail. So half of it just succeeds. So saying it short, New Year's resolution don't really work, but without it's even worse. So why do you think, what's the problem? Why it's so high, the percentage of failure?
Okay, well, as I said at the beginning, like it's because it's a bunch of wishes. And well, I have a slide for that. Like if you want, I can share it. Hold on. Here. So can you see it?
No.
Ah, shit. Okay. And why not? Share. Hold on. Yes, now.
Yes, now there's something coming. Da-da-da.
But can you see it now?
You have to make it. No, this one I don't want to see.
No, this one is not.
Exactly. No, this.
No. It's not
This
this
one.
one.
Too early.
It's early.
The other one.
Hold on. Sorry. It has to be here. Okay, yes.
Cool.
So now can you see it? Huh?
Yes, yes, perfectly.
So yeah, the problem of a wish is that it's a thought without emotion. And so first, to make this wish more powerful, you need to fuel it with emotion. And we have two emotions, fear or love. But we have a lot of feelings. And so if you join a wish and an emotion, it becomes a feeling. And this feeling is the foundation of a belief. And a belief, it's what really powerful can change your reality. And to change these old beliefs, we need to recognize them. We need to recognize what are these limiting beliefs that we call, that are stopping you from achieving your new reality.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the main reason why people doesn't do this process. Basically, they just make a list of what they want. Normally, they even make a plan of how to achieve it, but they don't do this deep work behind it to know what these, let's say, these all behaviors that they have, what these behaviors are serving them for, because they have a function, even if they are not so. Wait, I want to see you now. If they are not beneficial for the person, they have a function, and you need to understand what this function is to be able to remove it, to transform it, let's say.
So there are already two things included here. So one thing is you have actually to feel it, add emotion to it, that it works, which is goes along with even better Joe Dispenza than me, but he works a lot. I know from his meditations, if you want to manifest something, he always asks to create emotions around it, actually to feel that you have succeeded already. But another thing, talking about beliefs, it's actually also be negative. It can lead also to something negative. It stands against it, something against it. It's difficult to actually achieve it, right? So emotions can be positive or negative.
What do you mean? Like,
if there's a negative emotion, like fear,
yes, okay.
As the wish is connected with a negative emotion, it will make it more difficult to achieve it. No?
If you don't identify this fear, if you're not aware of this fear and you don't work on this fear first, yes, definitely you won't achieve it, because you need to address all these blockages that are in between so that the goal happens, it becomes real.
So we've talked about the New Year's resolution, and I think everyone understands why there's a big important part missing. So talking about my work in yoga, there's this concept of setting a Sankalpa, which is very common. I've done also workshops around it also in the new year. And a Sankalpa is basically is a commitment. So this actually includes already this idea also you have to commit to something, to wish. You don't have to just wish it or dream of, but you have to commit to this wish. But it also has to support your own highest truth. It has to go along with your dharma. It has to go along with your purpose. Why are you actually here? No? So let's say, for example, if I share my Sankalpa this year is to add to everything what I do, to do everything this year really with joy and with passion. To explain, last year was very more mentally driven, no, to reach my goals, no, and I was very exhausted by the end of the year. So this year, I know that I bring more quality into everything, if personal or professionally, if I add, if I do it from my heart, if I enjoy, no. There's actually a beautiful quote I just recently heard from Beethoven, and he says kind of, if I repeat it well, it's absolutely understandable if you play a note wrong, but it's unforgivable if you play a note without any passion. No? And I think this goes along. It's absolutely okay to fail, no, but if you don't, bring passion to it. So this is my idea. This is my personal Sankalpa. No, have I explained clearly enough the difference? What a Sankalpa in yogic term is? Okay. So what do you think of that? That it has to go along with.
Well, I see the Sankalpa as it's the end of a evolution as well. Like, of course, the average person is so connected with this higher truth or higher purpose. You need to have done a bit of work to get to that point. Like, I see this it's a bit more profound. And what I do with subconscious reprogramming, it doesn't mean, I mean, my end goal, it's also this one, like the person, it's more connected to their heart and that they can know this higher truth or higher purpose easily. But some people need a bit of time, and you need to peel some layers to get to that point. And that you can achieve that through this, through the subconscious reprogramming, goal by goal, you know, like little awareness by little awareness, you will get this more alignment with yourself.
Of course, also in my work in yoga, it's not about the end in final idea of I am already in my purest living my purest dharma. It's if you now are in 2022 and you think like, wow, something has to change, even if you've never done this work, but you can do the first step and actually, what would actually really be good for me? What is really doing good to me? No, and then it's also easier actually to follow those dreams. No?
Yeah, even so. But I see. Sorry.
No, please.
I see that even for many people, it's even difficult to know this, like, because they are so disconnected that they find very difficult even to know what's good for them, like to,
And in this case, find a yoga teacher.
Find a yoga teacher
or a mind tuner. Or mind tuner.
Of course. No, because I mean, you what you do is you transform with the subconscious reprogramming, you transform all traumas, all past experiences that are blocking you from this knowledge, for example, or resistances that are at the same time blocking you to maybe let flow and find yourself the answers. Like all of this, you do it also through your mind, through the reprogramming of your subconscious mind.
Okay. So do you have an equivalent of a personal Sankalpa? Do you have?
You mean mind Sankalpa for this year? Yes, sure, of course. So my goal this year is to really embody all what I learn and what I know, because I've been in the last month, let's say, full with lots of information, learning lots of things, and I'm a bit overdosed, so I just want to embody all of this and make my own. And also my highest purpose is to really tap into this higher intelligence more and more and be the most connected possible for my life,
That's
personal life, and
beautiful.
for my work, of course. Yes.
That's beautiful. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing.
Yes.
I love that. So, with your work, do you feel it's possible for your clients to actually achieve their goals with your help if it's not connected to their highest truth? Like, for example, is it health-wise not connected or whatever? Is that possible with subconscious programming?
It's a tricky question, because what it means is not connected to their higher truth. You mean, for example, someone comes and they say, I wish to have a mansion. Is this the
If someone is
direction? Or
coming and
like,
has maybe a health and eating disorder and is very thin already and wishes in 2022 to lose 20 kilos of weight, I don't know. Maybe this something.
Yeah, okay, good question then, because then I can explain you how Psych-K works. Psych-K is a very safe and non-invasive tool to work, and it has a super important element, which is we always check with your higher self and with the subconscious mind before proceeding. So it's not only, there's always a security protocol, let's say. And so it will always be in your higher interest, whatever we do. Like, and of course, if someone comes with this wish, your higher self, it's going to test weak on that, and it's not going to allow the process.
Okay, that's interesting. So it goes very along the same.
Totally, like Psych-K.
The
Actually,
idea behind this, the idea is the same, or the path a little bit.
It is.
So you use other tools.
Yeah, well, you know that there are many tools to get to the same place, but also Psych-K, although it sounds like mind, that we work with the mind, but it's a spiritual technique with psychological effects. So it has this very spiritual part that connects with a higher intelligence to do the changes.
Fantastic. So could you tell us a little bit more about how you work with your clients and who wish to change something about themselves?
Yes. So I normally work in packages, like either 1 month or 3 months. I also do single sessions for very specific things. And basically the process is we have a talk. It's not a talk therapy. It's not about talking. But do we talk at the beginning a little bit to identify what are the goals and where all these blocks can be? And this I do through asking questions to the client to see what are their answers. So I can identify already what are these limiting beliefs that they have around the topic. I also place some questions about their upbringing to know what are the beliefs, because beliefs are formed in childhood, basically, the main ones. And so to understand what are their beliefs around that topic or their family beliefs. And then we proceed to balance. It's called balances in Psych-K. It's a protocol where you find positions of the body that where the brain goes into whole brain position, which means both hemispheres are fully connected. And in that moment, change and reprogramming, it's easy and accessible. And the last part, it's to take action. So we plan an action, we do an action plan together to integrate these changes in life. Like you always need to take conscious action aligned with your wishes, so that
We can't just
have
dream
results.
of.
Yeah, you can't just sit on the sofa and wait for magic to happen. Although magic happens, because as soon as you remove resistance, then things just flow much easily, and it feels like magic. But you still have to be doing the action. Like this thing that they say, inspiration has to find you working. It's a bit the same, you know, like magic will happen on your way to taking the action.
And I think something very important, again, a little bit with the beliefs. Now, I just heard recently again also what you just said, that the first, I don't remember, 10 years maybe, very important for, actually, they program our belief system. So even if it's just about, if they come to you and say, like, Ainhoa, I want to change my career this year, it's really important to understand where is actually your belief system, where are you coming from, because then you see how your own programming works, because you may be completely programmed differently, from the neighborhood you were living in, the status of your parents, maybe how they were working. So this influences us and maybe makes it more difficult how to change something. No?
Yeah, and it's the mind. It's quite tricky because it makes very absurd connections, absurd in the logic way, like that you would never thought, but it just makes these connections and makes these conclusions when we are young, between 0 and 7. So imagine, and that's what runs your program the whole life. So the good thing of Psych-K as well is that the client does the process, like you are doing the process, and you are with your mind finding these connections. It's not me telling you. Of course, I can identify where are your blocks, but then on the process to change this wiring, to rewire this, it's your mind on its own that does it and finds the pieces that needs to rewire it.
So we are now in the middle of January, 19th of January, and according to statistics, already around 30% of New Year's resolutions have failed. While you say that in 4 sessions, which is roughly a month, you can actually achieve to change a behavior or a habit of your client. Is that true? So
Yes,
is that what
course.
you, with this Psych-K, what you said, right?
Yes, like
do you think it's possible?
It is possible, and the time that it takes, it really depends on the person. Like, how can I say? Like, some people allows the process to happen very quickly. Like, again, this is a belief. If you believe that you need 3 years to change something, then you probably need 3 years to change it. But you can change this belief as well. Like, and so what we do is we open for possibility. We do the reprogramming. We change things to open for this possibility, and it definitely can be changed as fast as it was created. And yeah, it is real. I saw it happening, and you can imagine like the ways the mind finds to make this happening and this possible. It just, yeah, it does happen.
And I know that in your sessions you set aside 15 minutes just to formulate a goal. How does that work?
Well, that's what I said before, that we talk with the person. We talk about what the goal is that they want to achieve and where these limiting beliefs could be. And then we formulate this in a sentence. It's a present tense, first person, and positive sentence. Like, our subconscious mind doesn't understand the no. So you can't say, I don't want to smoke. You can't say that. You need to formulate it in a positive way. And that's what we do in these 20 minutes around, more or less. Like I sometimes I help the people, I suggest things, but the best is when the person formulates the sentence themselves, because they use their own words, and that's where your mind, where your system will resonate the better with whatever you are. It just does. It needs to make sense for you. It doesn't even needs to make sense for me. Like,
Fantastic. So
yeah,
I
that's.
actually would suggest for the listeners today to formulate, you can write it here into the comments, but also just for yourself, no, to, as you say, writing on the paper, one goal for 2022 in, as you said, in presence
Mm-hmm.
and
In present tense, yeah.
positive, and what else? And
First person,
I,
like I.
first person.
It's something that, yeah,
I am whatever. Good.
whatever.
So let's see. I'll give them a little bit of time. Have you done that as well, Ainhoa? Have you written down something for you? You don't have to share now, but
I do this all the time. I use it all the time with myself. Like, yes, it can. You can reprogram many beliefs in one day.
it's good to hear.
Yes,
So if
yes,
someone wants to set a goal for 365 days, what we're today talking about, I mean for one year, so 365 minus 19 days, because we're on the 19th of January. Do you
mm-hmm.
think conscious decisions and lifestyle plays a role for their success?
Now I lost you. Ah,
You
no,
don't
okay.
hear me?
Now,
Yeah.
now I see you. Now I see you. Okay. So definitely this conscious, first the awareness, and then the conscious action plays a big role. But without bringing the subconscious on board, it's like you're missing one leg. Like to have this sustainable change.
You talk right away about subconscious, so subconscious work. This includes maybe also meditation, would you say, or like,
Definitely, meditation, of course, accesses the subconscious mind. It does.
yeah, or to be able to actually see where we're standing. No, I
I
posted
al-
yesterday again. Sorry, an arty quote from Paul Gauguin, who said, apparently, I shut my eyes to see. No? And in his case, as a painter, non-painter, of course, I imagine, no, he shuts first his eyes in order to draw later those fantastic, beautiful pictures, no, full of colors. But in our own words now, and in this theme, like we can shut our eyes and actually just to go inwards in order to paint something how we wish something. No, so meditation for me in this process. If I, for example, work with students in private sessions, there's a lot of work going inwards.
Mhm.
No?
Yeah, for me, meditation, it's like I always say, it's like a clean my Mac. This program that was cleaning the
Mm-hmm.
the cookies, the rubbish of the computer. Well, meditation does this, and by cleaning all of your um, yeah, rubbish of your brain, then you see more clear as well. Like, it's yes, meditation. It's an incredible tool to practice along. Like, it's something I also do. Like, not that much these last days, but I use it a lot in my life, and it also helps. I think you have to use more than one tool as well to improve and to,
And
yeah,
conscious lifestyle, how somehow, no, at least sometimes the ability to stop and to say, like, that was not going along with what I really wish. No, the ability of self-reflect or to see yourself during your life. No,
definitely
yeah.
awareness. I mean, really, awareness is the first ingredient for any change, and this is awareness. No, like to be able to see from outside what you're doing, what you're saying, how you're
Mm.
behaving. Yeah.
And what about support system or rituals or are there any other tools? I mean, this New Year's resolution with a lot of champagne and firework, is that a good tool, or is there a ritual we should create about if we want to make a big change or support system, etc.? What would you
Look,
say?
this maybe goes along with, I have another slide that, well, it's, but maybe it's, it goes with this ritual question that you just asked. I mean, I think rituals are great. Like rituals is just, it's like a concentration of an intention. You know, you concentrate your intention into this ritual, and you give this ritual the meaning of what you want to achieve. And this is powerful. That's what witches also have been done all along history. And so, yeah, every person can find their own rituals. I think it's good that there are many different ways to do the things. I have a formula that I can share with the people.
Yes,
That
please.
I call it. Well, you asked me, and I said it's the golden formula. Could be the golden formula. Wait, I share it. Share.
So rituals, I also think, no, that
Where it gone now? Hold on.
rituals, everybody decides by themselves what is a ritual. No, you create your own
Exactly.
ones.
You can create your own rituals. Like, so the formula, it's your intention. Very important. The reasons why you will sabotage this intention, and they can also be understood as these limiting beliefs around your intention, or these
Everything
blockages,
what
these fears
stays
on
against
the
it.
way. Yes.
In yoga,
Then
you would
plus,
call it. Sorry, in yoga we would call it
yes.
dharma sometimes also. No, like a little bit more deeper things. The work, the
Mm-hmm.
shit you have to work on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very important to identify it, and difficult sometimes to identify it on your own. That's good. That's why it's good to have a mirror or someone that helps you to see these things. So intention, reasons to sabotage it, the ritual, and there you can create your own ritual. Plus action, it's equal to results. This formula works. Like the difference from what I do to this formula is that you need more time. Like our mind works by repetition. So if you want to something to change in this normal way, let's say, you need to repeat it many times, so that until she understands this new pathway. What we do
What do
with
you have to
Psych-K,
repeat? Sorry, the ritual
the
you have to
action,
repeat.
the whole
The
thing,
action.
you know, like
This whole
the
thing, what we
ritual.
see here.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing, like in the ritual, it's the intention. So you need to repeat this ritual again and again and again. For it depends of the person, for months, for a year. Like that's also how hypnosis works, no? By repetition, repetition, repetition. And that's how we learn. That's why it makes sense. That's how the mind learns new things.
Can you tell just an example what in a ritual for the listeners, what a ritual could include?
Yes, for example, I have a ritual that sometimes I add as an action, although with Psych-K, the ritual it's Psych-K itself. That it's, for example, you identify your limiting belief around something. Then you write this belief on a piece of paper, and then you put a glass of water on top of it, not full, and then you empty out this glass every morning. Then you fill it up again, and then you empty out this glass again in the afternoon or at night. Like you empty out the glass, and this is a way of telling to the mind, I'm letting it go. This belief, for example, this would
Oh,
be
that's
a
nice. I didn't know
ritual.
about
But
them.
this,
I like that. I like that.
yeah, each person can create. Wait, can I remove the slide because I
Yes,
don't see you?
of course.
Okay. Yes. This is a ritual that you can invent your own ritual. This is also what Jodorowsky calls psychomagic, you know, like it's shamanism as well. Like it's a way of giving a content of from your intention, like to creating it's a ritual, a piece of art, a piece of theater, like how to interpret your intention in a how do you say, graphical way, like in a imaginary way. That's how your subconscious mind works as well, not with words, but with images.
What I also do, something is really important to me, and I know that I might struggle with it. I always share it with others around me, like to say, I know I will do this. I want to do this now, the next weeks, days, whatever, and kick me if I don't do it. More or less, like remind me. No, like to my partner, for example, I
To
use
ask
them,
for
or
support to
from
so that
outside. No,
you
like
accomplish.
yeah.
Well, this is one of the tools that you can use, or like the support that you can use when once you set a goal. There are ways of helping you to achieve this goal. And for example, when you want to do sport and you don't do it, maybe to meet with someone so that you have a commitment with someone else to do it, it will help you to accomplish it as well. It will make it easier.
And what you said also very, very important. You said it from the very beginning already a few times. An action plan. To go into action is actually important, right?
It is super important. Like
So
without action, there's no change. Like for example,
yeah.
sorry, no, not
No,
that
no, no.
I last year, for example, my goals were to expose myself in the media, and I did reprogram myself, and I did a lot of energy work around it, and it totally helped me. But if I don't go and record a video, or if I don't go and show myself somewhere, there's no change happening. And yes, so yes,
We
that's
have
how
to
it
do it.
works.
No, and
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
plan means to plan, or to also it helps to write it down. No, like a wish or something, to make it visual. Also, no, some people are visual, and it helps to see it.
there
So
are
also
lots
here
of
for the
tricks
listeners,
as well.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So for the listeners, I mentioned at the very beginning that I would like actually to hear after 6 months how this process is going along. And if I hear from everybody that didn't work, we have to do a second podcast about how to move back to our our wishes in Sankalpa in 2022 with Ainhoa. But so if we say, for example, for the next 6 months, to create an action plan, which means maybe to write down 6 points, what can I achieve until mid-February? What can I achieve until mid-March, mid-April? No, just to make a little bit more small steps, achievable steps, no? Because then you don't dream of until end of year. We can dream wild, no? But if I hear like, what can I actually do in a month? You start to be concrete, no?
More
Like
specific. I
specific,
have a way.
specific.
I have a way of making a plan that it's not fix for the whole year, but that you make like you set the main goals, and then every week, every month, you update these actions that you need to take to achieve these goals. Like, and I think a flexible plan is very important because it's good to give space for the unknown to happen, and to have this flexibility as well, but at the same time having a clear goal and strong why where you're going there.
No, of course, because there's always a failure included, no, like, or the possibility fail, or no, it's just part of
Yeah, or that this universe is showing you that maybe that was not for now, and that was something else. And always, if you observe it and you ask, okay, what can I learn from this unexpected thing or undesirable thing, then it's all good. Like, we will move forward.
What about the theme of willpower? No, in what I was sharing about Sankalpa, it says like it's coming from the heart, it's coming from the true self. No, but that somehow for me personally, often achieving something, achieving a goal has to do with willpower. Does it play somehow? Willpower, does it play in your work?
Well, yes, in the sense that willpower is what brings the action, like what makes you do the action. You need willpower anyway. But of course, when the first impulse comes from closer to the heart, then this willpower just it just happens naturally, like no, like you're thrown by a stronger force, and then with your will, without willpower, I think we won't be here anyway. So yes, it is an important part.
And if someone doesn't has that strength or willpower so strong, can they grow it? Like we can work on our muscles,
Yes,
or we
I
can
believe
work on our focus.
totally, like it's a muscle. Exactly. Did you say that? Yeah, it's a muscle. It's like going to the gym. Like it's only that we are all very familiar on going to the gym for our muscles, but not training our mental muscles or emotional muscles. This is not, now it's more known, and more people is aware of that. But until now it was just out of the picture. And definitely it's a training as well.
How do you do that? Again, with meditation or with how willpower, staying focused?
Lots of ways. Awareness, again, first awareness, like, and observe yourself, and the awareness is also a muscle. It's something that first maybe you don't even know that it exists, and when you discover it, then it's almost impossible not to see it anymore. So once you used to do it, it just easier and easier. And yeah, it's a muscle. This awareness, I think it's the key for changing and for yeah.
In your work, in your experience, what are the biggest barriers to change that you see? Just bring it together.
I think, well, sometimes I say like courage, like the courage to really face your shadows and your dark, or this courage to do that, and the commitment that you need to change. Because even though there's easiness on the work I do, and it helps with this easiness and flow, you still need to commit, you still need to do things, and you still need to look at yourself and swallow hard things as well, like that you suddenly discover that actually you are creating all this discomfort in yourself. And I think in these two aspects are the more challenging, and that's why many people just
Give
avoid
up
it,
because it's
and just
because it's scary, of course, to change, especially what I said, for example, if you go completely different path of a career. It includes a lot, and I just so can't do my old work anymore, but I so wish to do something new. There's so much fear, of course, and it's so much easier actually to stay where you are, right? We know that.
Yeah, because our mind, it's hardwired to go to the familiar, and it's hardwired to avoid the familiar. So actually it's a supernatural process. We are made this way, and it's challenging to hijack this natural setup that we have, and that's why it's hard, but it's totally doable.
So as you said, or we said already, it's like it's a commitment. You to really promise yourself, like whatever will happen. I again and again will come back and remind me, maybe using different tools. But changing the path, changing the or whatever the how to do it, but trying always again and again new ways to do it, even if we fail. I actually had a very fun talk recently with a friend who was very successful suddenly in a lot of things, and I said, like, what's your secret? Share with me. And he laughed and said, I failed a lot. And he recommends it. So what it includes, failing a lot includes doing a lot.
Yes, and also
again and again and then again until it works.
Yeah, and learning and learning what was this failure teaching you, because at the end it's not a failure, it just learning.
Muchísimas gracias. So the golden formula is Let's remind our listeners again.
The golden
We
formula.
set an
Sorry.
intention. Yes, let's do it together.
Yes.
We set an intention. How you said, repeat again. How do we set an intention? The goal setting.
You mean, but this goal setting that I use, it's to reprogram your subconscious mind. Because when you do this work, then it has to be in positive, first person, and present tense.
I think this works also.
Yeah, you still can use it in this way. So you set an intention, then you try to identify what are the limiting beliefs, the reasons why you will sabotage this intention.
Which is easier with help of someone sometimes, no?
With what, sorry?
This is, I think, easier to work with someone because to really identify deep hidden beliefs, sometimes if it's a bigger change.
Sometimes it's tricky, yes. But still, you can ask questions to yourself or just let this intuition come and tell you. Because actually, if you let your intuition tell you what are you afraid of or what are the things blocking you, sometimes you also get this. Of course, you need to work and open up to the intuition. But anyway, so setting the intention, identifying these limiting beliefs, and creating a ritual that has a meaning for you in whatever you are trying to change, and taking action, taking conscious, aligned action with your intention. And then you will get results. Although you need to repeat this quite a bit.
And do a lot of yoga and meditate a lot.
Unless you come to the mind tuner and then your limiting belief can be reprogrammed in seconds. It's a high-speed process. It is how it is really. That's the magic of it. But you still, if you don't have the support of someone, then you still can do things. You still can achieve your results.
Muchísimas gracias, Ainhoa. So if you wish maybe to connect with Ainhoa and ask her more questions, where can they find you? On Facebook and Instagram, no?
You can find me, yes, the Mind Tuner in Instagram with dots, and in Facebook, the Mind Tuner without dots. And in my website as well, like there's a contact email, everything, mind-tune.de.
Fantastic.
Yes, and in my
let us know how you goes, no, dear listeners, the next 6 months. We want to make sure 2022 will be a great one. No? So thank you so much, Ainhoa, for your time and for sharing. It was very inspirational. Thank you, listeners, for being with us. And I really wish you all the best for 2022. And as I mentioned already a few times, share with us how you go along. So I'm Agnes Kru from Agnes Kru Yoga. You'll find me also on social medias as Agnes Kru Yoga, and Agnes Kru Yoga also my internet. And I have a Facebook group for yoga teachers where we can share also, and we do actually this week we share about this theme and about setting goals. And see you next month for the next podcast. Adios.
Bye. Thank you.
Adios.
Bye. Ciao.